and invite people from all over to come to this particular game and to celebrate. And that's what you've been doing this week. And homecoming week is kind of a week of celebration. And tomorrow night, traditionally, homecoming game is the game that you have the most number of people at. So the stands will probably be full. People look forward to coming to particularly to that homecoming game. And so it's a fun week, and it should be fun for you, and you should kind of enjoy it. It's about celebrations, about others. It's about celebrating what we have and how blessed we are. And so certainly you athletes that work so hard, you're not just playing for yourself. You're not really playing just for yourself. You're playing because their stands are full and other people come out to see you, and you work very hard for your teammates if you play a sport that has a team, you know, and so you really care that you play your hardest, not just for yourself. Of course, that's important, but that's not just why you play. And that's just true probably with all of the various sports that are going on in the fall. If I start naming them, I'll probably miss one or two, but I certainly see cross country doing really well, swim and diving doing really well. Y'all can help me. Who else is doing really well in the fall sports arena here? Volleyball, of course, volleyball. You're on the volleyball court. How can we forget them? You know, certainly. Who else? So all of you athletes, and also all of our fine arts programs that work so hard. So everyone's not been given athletic ability, and so we can't all find ourselves out on the field playing the game, but we may find something that we can contribute to the well-being of others. And so certainly our fine arts do a wonderful job doing that. So there are many ways in which you can contribute to others. Now, the gospel is a really interesting gospel. Okay, it's you know, Jesus is talking to the crowds. He's talking to all the crowds of people. Normally, Jesus isn't talking to crowds. If you listen to the gospel week after week after week, and it always says, well, it starts off by saying Jesus is talking to his disciples. Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, or the Sadducees, or the scribes, or the Gentiles. It always tells you who Jesus is talking to. Today, Jesus is talking to everyone, and he says to them, he says, listen, you just can't be pleased. You just can't be happy because, John the Baptist came and he was neither eating nor drinking, and, you said he was possessed. You said there was something wrong with him. You should at least be eating and drinking a little, right? And then, so Jesus comes both eating and drinking, and you call him a glutton and a drunkard, and he's with tax collectors. So Jesus is kind of telling us, he's kind of saying to the crowds, he's talking to everybody. He's saying, you've got to look for what's really important, and you have to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to be optimistic and get the good out of the world. Not be a pessimistic person, but be an optimistic person. And so that's part of the whole celebration and the joy that we have here as we go to the football game or the volleyball game. We go to all the various sporting events. We encourage them to play their best, and we look forward to them really playing the best. And that's why it's so vitally important that we have those opportunities and a lot of other opportunities you have in your life. And so, as a student, we're asked to participate in this community, but this isn't the only community in the world. There's a bigger community out there, and it's important that we play a part in the bigger community, and then even more so in the world. And if we think of all of those things that are going on in the world, it demands our prayers. Like we want to pray for many of those people. Certainly the war in Ukraine that we've been praying for many, many years. We certainly can pray for all of those other areas in the world that are really in turmoil. None of us probably in here probably can imagine what that's like to kind of live in turmoil. St. Andrew, whose feast day is today, was a Korean, and he was a Korean martyr. He himself and all of his companions were martyred for the faith. So in a special way, you know, we think about all of those people all throughout the East, particularly the Southeast, you know, Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, all of those areas. Many missionaries went to try and offer the word to those people, and it cost them their lives. They were all martyred, but they recognized how important it was that they make an effort to go out in the world and to bring the good news, the message of Jesus, the message of love and peace and kindness and generosity into the world. And so today we give thanks in a special way to St. Andrew Kim and his companions for the love that he gave to so many people. And many of those people that live in there today are Catholic. You know, the missionaries worked hard, but many of those people did become Catholic and recognized how important that was and are still Catholic today. So we not only live in our little world here at St. Michael, which is important, but we live in our world here around this community and in our country, but also the whole world. We play a part in the whole world, and I really just thank God for how many blessings that you have been given. I think as we gather for Mass each week, you take an opportunity to pray and offer your Mass for something in particular. Every week, you should offer your Mass for something in particular. And we certainly can take an opportunity to be a person of thanksgiving. That's what the word Eucharist means. It means thanksgiving. And so we're a people of thanksgiving to thank God for all the blessings that he has given us. Let us stand now and offer our prayers.